Dear children of the world, always remember that you are loved, you are cherished, you are the most precious human being in the world. We as adults know that children are our greatest investment. And as adults in a village, we are responsible for guiding them in the right direction. So it is up to us to create opportunities for them to grow and stand on, build foundations for them to build upon, and then help support them with wisdom along the way. So our whole thing now about our children coming up nowadays, we want you to realize how important that you are to us in this community, how important you are to your family, and just most importantly, how important you are to yourself. Be sure to make a difference in this life. Do not leave nothing to chance. And always remember, every revolution started with a group of young people. So I want to welcome you all to Royale X Politikin. Yes, it's Royale X Politikin, and I'm your host, DeWaun E. Robinson. And I am sitting here with a phenomenal queen, right? A Wonder Woman, the Flint School Board President, Mrs. Dr. McNeal. How you doing? I'll put
I'm
that
doing
Mrs.
just
Doctor
fine.
there.
I'm doing fine. How about you?
All is well, all is well. It's important because, we have to highlight and give respect where respect is due,
Thank
right?
you. Yes, we do.
And you have been not only just in the nonprofit sector, not only just in the school, not only just having your own programs and things of that nature, right? You have always been a source of information and guidance for young people
Yes, that's
in
my
all different
passion.
facets,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So no, we definitely appreciate that because
Thank you.
just like we were saying, our young people of today have to realize how vital they are to the society. And I know as a young person, sometimes feel like they may not know what to do, may not know what opportunity to take. You just need continuous guidance, right?
Right.
But at the end of the day, right? And that's why it's important for us to really be able to be in these children's life and get back to the village and understand how we all work with each other. We have to have those staples and those leaders in place, right? That believe in them,
Yes.
So in all things, so for those who don't know you, won't you give an introduction and tell some words about yourself?
Well, I am Dr. Joyce Ellis-McNeal.
Hmm.
I came to Flint about 20 some years ago, um, doing a research. What will Flint look like um, when the industry is gone,
Hmm.
when the car manufacturer is gone? And it was amazing that also came because Flint was one of these cities that was more difficult
Hmm.
to move people from welfare to work. Even when the economy was up,
Hmm.
the was going
Of
higher.
course. Yeah.
So when I came to Flint, I created a program in a school
Hmm.
that will address the needs of single parent because I was a single parent.
Hmm.
And I know what the challenges are when you're a single parent living below poverty and your zip code appears to be the only thing determined factor of where you be in life. So I understand about zip codes,
Hmm.
and the zip code always had me challenging the system.
Hmm.
It's not where I live, it's how I live. But in today's society, your zip codes determine a lot of things, how people perceive you.
It's true.
So what I did was I left General Motors Design Center, working in designing vehicles and all of that technical stuff, and I came to Flint
Mhm.
and created Abundance of Love Child Development Center
Okay.
with a transportation
Come
to
on.
ensure that parents can transport their kids back and forth. And the problem that I was trying to solve and get over to people is when you take the head of the household out of the household,
Mm-hmm.
we continue to create laws of unintended consequences.
Mm.
So every
Big one.
time they make a law
Yeah.
against the have not, it create laws of unintended consequences.
Uh-huh.
So when they took the black male out of the community, it created another law of unintended consequences.
Mm-hmm.
So here come another system said, in order for you to get this little food stamp and get any assistance, you have to go to work.
Yes.
95% of the head of the household is the mother or one person.
Mm-hmm.
And then the system says, I'm going to pay the minimum amount of money for your child care, the minimum amount, and I'm going to pay for your child care until your child get 12.
Mm-hmm.
When that child gets 12, who's at home to govern and nurture that child? There's no male figure there most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
So that kid would end up walking the street in the streets, and the people in the street will become the role model.
You know, and let's take as examine that real quick.
Uh-huh.
As you are absolutely right. Before before they took the black man out of the household, black families were married, right? You had a mother, a father, and you had children in the house. You had about 10 plus children in the house, right? That's how like a lot of the southern families, like it
Yeah.
just was like a big family, right? But the father was there. Like our grandparents, they were there, right? But it was a ploy to be able to break up the black family structure.
Yes.
And that was to remove the father from the household, right? Who is normally the figure of authority, protector, provider, amongst all other things. Removing that aspect from the household and then putting all the strain on a mother to be a single mother, have to prove that this man doesn't live there, right?
Yes.
It's creating an issue between the two.
Yes.
And children don't benefit, and stats shows children benefit from having both parents in the household.
True.
Right. So understanding that that took place, now fast forward to today, where you see where you have at an all-time lowest of being married in black households, it's always either, the children with mother, right? And it's maybe a co-parenting situation with the dad, if any. But that has broken the foundation of black families in urban communities.
However, me myself being a single mom,
Mm-hmm.
single parent, I learned from my parent. You can be a strong, strong mother raising your kids and have them to be successful
Mm-hmm.
without the male in the house, but it takes a lot of denying yourself.
It does.
So I had to give up every pleasure that I have
Mm-hmm.
to make sure that my children are successful.
That's right.
So I had to make sure that I am responsible. I am responsible for them getting up. I am responsible for them behaving in class.
Mm-hmm.
And as a single mom, I believe that I raised both of my children throughout their whole school years, never been suspended no more than once or twice.
Come on.
And
That's a
basically,
good number.
that's a good number.
That's good.
And most of my son was a role model.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a single mom
Yes, ma'am.
living in Detroit.
Yes, ma'am.
And I moved to Flint.
Mm-hmm.
And my daughter graduated from Central at age 16.
Mm-hmm.
So children are a blessing. So we got to really make sure we hone into that mother. You done nothing wrong. Children are a blessing.
Mm-hmm.
When we fail to get up and take care of that blessing, that's create these laws of unintended consequences.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of my role is to solve problems uh, in the school system, to look at what went wrong. Why did our kids stop reading and writing and doing basic math?
Mm-hmm.
And it come from parenting discipline.
Mm-hmm.
You can be successful. If we talk about this Bible that we talk about,
Mm-hmm.
leave an inheritance for your children. One of the best inheritance that we can leave for our children is a solid educational institution that do not create a mindset just going to work. Education is to create dreamers and inventors and
Come on.
entrepreneurs.
Absolutely.
And so the education system,
Mm-hmm.
is failing our youth, not just single parent.
Mm-hmm.
Because before, when I fell down, I had a system that allowed me to get up.
Mm-hmm.
So when I left high school, I could go work at a bank.
Yeah.
I can go anywhere
You
because
could.
I just get just a mediocre job.
That's right.
Our children nowadays, when they leave high school, they barely can do an application. Um,
But why is that now? Because when we talking about the literacy rate right now is very low.
very low.
High school. So do you think it's a combination of problems or issues that creates this? Because I do understand what you're saying. Like a lot of our children now, I don't know if we living in the microwave era because they want it quick, fast, in a hurry. They're not reading.
They're not.
They're not writing. I think everything is all like technology based. Like
Mhm.
if they probably listen to a video or they may be, using other methods, but those are core fundamental values. Reading and writing, math.
Well, Mr. Robinson, we hired consultant and academic specialists to
Mhm.
look at the data.
Yeah.
You have to look at the data. When did these kids stop learning how to read and write and do, I say arithmetic, some
Hmm.
people say math. Um, so the data shows that in kindergarten, dibbles, the state requires kindergarten to do dibbles,
Mm.
which is not reported. And it shows that they was in the green in kindergarten. However, when they got to first grade and they started taking, these little tests that the state gives,
Hmm.
NWEAs or whatever,
Yep.
they started going into red. And
So from kindergarten to first grade.
they start to fail it.
Okay.
Then second grade, they still in the red. The
Okay.
state says when they get to third grade, the state recognized M step 1
Hmm.
and the kids are failing. Well, you failed them in the kindergarten because kindergarten should be ready to go to first grade. A kindergarten should be on first grade level.
Hmm.
So when a kindergarten get to first grade, evidently you had them scoring as though they're ready to go. When I say green, in other words, they're passing the test.
Yeah.
But when they got to the first grade, we noticed the data said the scores went down.
Mm.
What happened in kindergarten? Are you just patting them on the head? Great job. If that kindergarten is not at home with a number 3 pencil in their hand,
Hmm.
with a tablet, and reading and writing without a computer,
Come on now.
99% that child is failing.
Hmm.
You can dress them up, you can do anything you want, but your child is failing.
Yeah.
When they get to first grader, teachers are certified in category.
Hmm.
So when that first get to the first grade, that certified teacher's looking anxious to teach a first grader,
Hmm.
not a kindergartner.
Yeah.
So then you got a kindergartner
Hmm.
in the first grade cannot even do kindergarten work. Basic stuff, your name, your reading, just basic stuff,
Hmm.
phonics. So the first grade teacher have to go back to trying to go down to a kindergarten level to teach your kid.
Hmm.
So then they pass the kid on to the second grade,
Hmm.
knowing that they cannot do kindergarten, and they're still at a kindergarten level in the first, they're still in the kindergarten level in the second. So you send them on to the third grade. They take that M step 1 test at a third grade level, but they're reading and writing at a kindergarten. That child will be at a kindergarten level all the way through school.
So that is the hypocrisy, of the education system. Is it the teachers that's in the classroom that's preparing these young people to be successful in life or challenging them so they can be competitive in this world? Or are we just passing children through?
I believe, based on the data that I'm looking at,
Hmm.
do we have a system now? So I don't have to worry about your baby from kindergarten, pre-K, first and second until they get to third grade. And they give parents the illusion that my kid is going to school learning.
Mm-hmm.
Your kid is in a classroom, but are they learning?
Basically getting babysitting.
They just babysitting.
Yeah.
And so then I think it's the cruelest system I ever seen.
Mhm.
And you put them in the third grade, and the state gonna give them that test on the third grade level, and they still at a kindergarten and pre-K.
Mm.
Is it the system or is it the teacher?
Mm-hmm.
So when I opened up my school, I started teaching them at pre-K,
Mm-hmm.
kindergarten. When my kid left my school to go to a regular school, they was on a first grade level
There's
because we began to teach and learn to begin at toddler.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the employees was from the Middle East and the Latino. They began teaching their kids early. So I had a learning center. So my kids was learning.
Yes.
They was on computers. They was learning. They was writing. That's the most crucial age for any child. So if your child,
It is.
and we're doing this new graduation initiative at Flint, graduation start at kindergarten.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give your kid their diploma at kindergarten. And in order
That's
for
pretty
me to
cool.
put my name on this diploma,
Mm-hmm.
these are the criteria that your kid have to make. So we got to start to creating a tracking system for the parent to understand. Come in here, you enroll your kid. Here is their diploma.
You know what? So, and that's what I wanted to kind of dwell in. Like, I love hearing initiatives like that.
Mhm.
Like, I think that is a game changer because if you give a child a diploma at graduating kindergarten, then it's like you really like kind of nurture them, right?
Yeah.
For
And then
kids
it's
to
getting
go.
the parent engaged because now this data we have, this is where your kindergarten is at.
Mm-hmm.
This is where they need to be. So now the parent is tracking.
Mm-hmm.
Can they do these things at kindergarten? Now they're going to first grade.
That's right.
My mom put me back. I was in the first grade and I passed to the second. At my house down in Mississippi,
Mm-hmm.
my mother exam gives me my exam.
It's-
So my mom
Your
felt
parents is your
like,
first teacher.
yeah. So
Mhm.
my mom felt like I wasn't ready for the second grade. And I had six
Good.
brothers and two more sisters.
Mhm.
So every year, my mom had already put my older sister back. When I went,
She went holding y'all up.
I was in the, so next thing you know, my older sister, myself, and my baby sister, we all in the first grade at the same time.
Everybody.
Because my mom believed that if you didn't know how to read and write at third grade, you would never ever be able to learn to read and write. So my parent educated me from K to 3.
That's good.
And that's what I'm telling parent. We're going to give you, we're going to start this new graduation initiative.
Mm-hmm.
Your child, when you enroll your kid, they automatically has a diploma. It's up to you to make sure that these criteria are met.
That's right.
And you make sure
That's right.
that that child is doing their work. I'm not saying give up your single life, 15 or 20 minutes a day.
You know what? We got to give it up.
You got to
We
give it
gotta
up
that
sometime.
stuff up. All
Yeah.
that old hanging out, kicking it, shucking and jiving. You have to invest in them children. We don't need to give them tablets
Yeah.
for them to be learning from that all day long or them watching TV all day long. That's just not it. Like back in the day, parents used to sit down with their children, do their homework. I love what you said, how
Yeah.
your mom was the one who held you back. If anybody gonna be holding you back or holding you down, is your parents. So parents, we need y'all to step up. We need y'all to be engaged into the child's learning. Make sure that they have an understanding of the benchmarks. Make sure you know what they are.
Yeah.
Because I know, like, when I'm working with Delilah and doing homework and stuff, it's like a refresher for me. Like, some of that math is different steps than what I probably did when I was doing it. But it also helps me stay sharper because
Yeah.
now I know I got to get this right. You can't be coming to me and I don't know what time it is, right?
Yeah. And the interesting about it, I went to Texas, did a little research.
Yeah.
I went down in Atlanta and it's all across the United States.
Mhm.
And my research talking about what happened to the African American kid that we start reading and writing.
Mhm.
What happened here to this system that created this? So sometimes somebody in my generation have to take it upon themselves and stop and turn around and say, I'm going to do something different.
Mhm.
I'm not going to go to the system
Mm-mm.
and beg and please somebody to help me take care of my generation. And not many people would do this, but I dumped $200,000 or $300,000
Come on now.
in discovering what happened to our
Come
kids.
on now.
And
That's
I,
right.
and I don't regret it.
Come on.
And so I created a system that I was in business for 20 years.
Absolutely.
And people would come to an institution where they can see growth in their children.
There you go.
And so then I began to talk about the Dream Keeper Circle with kids. I have kids to tell me your dream.
Mhm.
And then I began to do programs to make a dream come true, And it takes money and time, but that is what my generation does.
That
Is
was
to open it. So what we got to do,
okay.
my generation, the baby boomers,
Okay.
we are part responsible for this
Okay. Okay. See, a
because
lot of them don't say that nowadays.
yeah, now I want to say this,
Yeah.
but we left this generation behind us nothing to grab our boots on.
Yeah.
And it's our responsibility to make sure that our kids get ahead of us. Not spend so much. Baby boomers seem to be more and talking about each other, and if that'll pay a bill, I help you, But saying negative stuff and stuff like that. Why don't we, as baby boomers,
Come on now.
create a pathway
Come on now.
where I don't need nobody to say you're gonna take my books out of the library. My books is at my house on the shelf.
Come on now.
You know,
Speak on it. Speak
yeah.
on it.
And my books are with me. You can come to my house and find any book at any level.
Any book you
So
want.
can nobody tell me where my history is? I'm
Come
gonna
on.
tell you.
I love
Can't
it.
nobody tell you about me.
Yeah.
You have to come in and open up the book and let me talk to you about me.
Yeah, that's right.
And if you're not serving,
Mm-hmm.
if you're not serving and you're not helping nobody, you
Mhm.
just occupy space,
Mhm.
keeping somebody from going forward. So
Yes,
my request is that the older generation, the baby boomers, 60, 70 years old,
Mhm.
let's stop for a minute and turn around and help somebody, not criticize,
Come on now.
not criticize.
Yes.
And don't believe this hype.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these children is going to have a little extra money that they didn't have before.
So on that note, I want to make sure we tune in, baby boomers. We need you all to start opening some doors for that generation that's
Yes.
coming up behind you and the generation that's coming up behind them, right? Because y'all done had a phenomenal time,
Yes, we
right?
have.
Baby boomers that did their thing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Y'all all established, you got it, right? So now we just want to look back and just lift everybody coming up on that. That kind of brings me to the next statement, right? When we look at the Flint Public School District, right?
Yes.
Which was a model education system for the nation. Like, don't get it twisted. Here in Flint, we had a model education system here so strong, right? We had community school directors, which they did bring back. And then also, in addition, it trained and taught the parents, right?
Yes.
When the children were at school. That was a phenomenal session. That was a phenomenal model to live by. And so now, and I was hearing stories about it, right? And I come up with Flint Central. I caught the tail end before it closed down and all those different things, right? Where are we at, as far as the state of the public school district here in Flint, Michigan?
This is when it comes to this education system, and I'm very passionate when I say this.
Mm-hmm.
We're in a moaning time. We're in the weeping season
Mm.
because everything that made our community successful has been taken away.
Yes, it has.
The Flint
Yeah.
Water Crisis. I don't care what nobody say. I went to this classroom. I began to teaching in school because I saw the damage it did to my son.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to the classrooms and I noticed that behavior that I saw is not the typical behavior of African American children.
Mm-hmm.
And I was concerned about their learning And when I walked into this school, a couple of white teachers said this to me. Dr. McNeal, you can't fail them. I said, what do you mean?
Mm-hmm.
They've been in the third grade twice. I got the fourth graders. These are fourth graders that you have.
Mm-hmm.
They've been in fourth grade twice. I said, so what are your recommendations?
Mm-hmm.
You have to skip them. In other words,
Skip them a grade up.
just pass them because they can't fail but twice in one grade. And I went back to my desk
Mm.
and I said, oh, I can change this. So I don't have 9-year-olds in the fourth grade. I got 11, 12, and 13-year-olds in the fourth grade
Mm-hmm.
reading at a kindergarten level.
Mm. Yeah.
I changed that dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got done with those kids, I got them all back to just about their level.
Mm-hmm.
One girl they took, and I said, I need her to skip a grade. And they used her test scores from the state plus what I was giving her. She was able to skip going to the fifth and went to the sixth. So the question would be, how far is the teacher willing to go
You gotta go that
to
extra.
change that dynamic?
You gotta go extra mile. That's the thing. I think sometimes even teachers, you have some good teachers, right? And it's not always based on the salary, but I do understand you do want to be compensated for your work, right?
Yes.
But that's the thing, like having some phenomenal teachers that really care about the children,
Yes.
that is what these children need. Like, the difference in having like a teacher that you really was fond of and that you respect and you appreciate, then you'll give some effort.
And another thing, children learn better when they
Yeah,
have somebody in front of them
absolutely.
that looks like them,
Mm-hmm.
speaks like them,
No doubt.
live in their neighborhood.
No doubt.
Those kids do better
Mm-hmm.
um, than having somebody different.
You already
And
know.
it has proven. Uh, kids go in these suburbs, they have teachers that looks like them.
Mm-hmm.
Their classroom looks like them.
Mm-hmm.
And so then that's a big challenge right there.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have African American going to school for teachers anymore in education.
Mm-hmm.
That field has dwindled.
Mm-hmm.
And because teaching is about a passion, some things jobs you get because of passion, not for the money. It's just for the love of the country and love of the community, as you always speaks of.
Mm-hmm.
And until that happen, we're gonna have to be very strategic in our
That's
thinking how
right.
we educate our kids.
And that's the thing, like, and the Flint schools is definitely on a campaign to attract students back to the district, right? One thing for sure, I know that some of us are sending our children to schools that's outside our communities, right? And that's unfortunate. Prior to even this conversation, um, myself and Mr. Joe was just talking about, all the history that you came up in when you had, Flint schools, Flint Northern, Flint Central, Flint Southwestern, Flint Northwestern, even schools of choice. You had all these different schools and these different fractions, right? That was a lot of history, a lot of ball players, a lot of sports figures, a lot of brilliant people came out of them institutions. Now we don't have none of that. We got Southwestern still. Um, but it was just a certain pride that we had when we was coming up from those schools. So now I look at my children that go out here to Grand Blanc and I be looking at, I don't want them to lose a sense of self-identity. I want them to remain themselves, but then at the same time, I wish they was coming up in school in their neighborhood. But we do want to change the circumstance. We do want to
And we
bring
have.
our children back to the city of Flint.
And that's what Flint Community School has done.
Okay.
We put $156 million in just not renovating the building, but looking at the academic curriculum in it. We listened to what is missing, but it was kind of hard to turn the dish around when you got everything was just old. The HVAC system, the whole system was outdated.
Yeah.
So we not only just updated the inside, we went out and started looking at how we hire people and have different academic.
That's right.
And the new school that we're getting ready to build, we haven't named it yet.
Mhm.
It is going to be a Flint public school. and we have Dr. Cook, Wanda Cook Robinson, heading off the academic, meeting the kids where they at.
Mhm.
We're gonna have soccer. We're gonna try to, um, with our girls. Our girls been so over sexualized in school, but we're gonna put programs for girls, basketball teams, and doing different things in the school
Yes,
system,
ma'am.
such as the program that you have at Southwestern.
Yes.
So what I'm trying to do is get parents to
Mhm.
believe in me and the system that we are putting together, and bring your children back to the public school system. That
Absolutely.
is the only way that this community and our culture is going to survive, is to return back to our first love, which is the public school. That
Absolutely.
is where you get taken care of. That's where your
Yeah.
community at. And if not just, you don't have to wear a uniform to look like you're smart. We
Right.
want you to be smart.
Yes.
And we are just asking people, once again, the same way that you took them out, bring
Mhm.
them back in.
Come on now.
We are doing a lot of job opening for teachers. I believe we really have a great superintendent.
Mhm.
We just been traveling all over, looking at how other schools do things, looking at bringing navigation programs
Mhm.
back into the school. And we just want your kids to enjoy school. And that is
Yeah.
what as long as I'm the president of this board and sitting on the board of education, we have devoted board members.
Yes, ma'am.
They're
Yeah.
dedicated.
Yeah.
And
We do.
Superintendent Jones is a great guy when it
Mhm.
comes to loving kids.
Mhm.
And so I think now that we're ready for the
Yeah.
change,
Mhm.
a few years ago, I wouldn't be saying this here because I know if they're going to fail, they're going to fail at a charter, they're going to fail here.
Mhm.
But what I did was start to looking at how we can keep them from failing. The
Absolutely.
new school that's coming up is going to be phenomenal.
Mhm.
Um, it's going to be a beautiful design. We got the support
Yeah.
of
The
getting this
community.
new school,
Yeah.
yes, and we did get it.
Finances.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hey, the
Yeah.
finances was just great
Absolutely.
because we got over 200 some $1 million just off relationship and partnership. We
Absolutely.
didn't have to go and beg for this.
Mm-mm.
That is because people see the good work in Flint.
Mhm.
When I'm traveling around the United States, everybody love Flint, but Flint itself. People has not forgotten Flint. They love Flint. And
Yeah.
we have a lot of people committed to coming back and helping us doing an enrollment campaign. I can't think of the football player name. We just spoke of him.
Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
spoke with him. He's
Mhm.
going to come to Flint
Yeah.
and help us do some things.
That's gonna be
So,
big.
yeah,
That's
so we're getting ready to do some exciting thing about school. Learning should be fun. You can take we don't care about nobody saying we're going to take your books. We know who we are. Matter of fact, you take those books, we're finna write a new book. And it's the great comeback for Flint Community Schools.
Listen, I'm excited. I love it. Like, so even before we even go into this, because we do have a new high school that's finna be built here in the city.
2028.
2028. This is the first time in what, 50 years?
50 years.
We didn't build the school here. There was a session that was held just recently, just kind of discussing about some community input. Um, there will be a piece of Flint Central. Now, this will be in the Flint Central area, right?
Yes, we own the property, and
Absolutely.
those two buildings been vacant for a while.
Whittier,
Uh,
Whittier and Central.
yeah, we're gonna demolish those buildings
Mhm.
and build a brand new school from the ground. The administration building would be over there. Community education. I think Janelle Jameson, who runs our after school programs and working with the community,
Mhm.
they would be located over there.
Mhm.
You're gonna have a state of the art stadium.
Mhm.
So hopefully we're working with the mod that it can just be a nice campus where they can just go from one venue to the next and never have to leave the campus.
I'm
And I
ex-
believe that's going to be from the 9th to the 12th grade.
I'm excited. I'm elated to see that. And then where we at with Southwestern now? Is that because I know
Southwest,
they
we had
just
a
had
boiler problem.
yeah
Remember we're dealing with old buildings. And
yes
so the boiler was not operating, wasn't holding the water.
hmm
And so we closed down the school until we got that part completely done.
hmm
Come when kids come back, the boilers and everything will be working. We're just trying to maintain the maintenance on that school until we get the new school.
absolutely
We don't have a lot of money to repair old buildings,
Hmm.
but we can maintain them and try to keep them safe and comfortable as possible, and hoping that ALA and Southwestern, all of them will be moving into the new building.
Oh, that's gonna be bomb.
It's gonna be fun.
That's
It's
gonna be.
gonna be fun.
I'm excited. I'm elated. And then what will happen with Southwestern once?
Southwestern will become once you close the school,
We gonna
is
close Southwestern?
we will have to close Southwestern because all of Southwestern is going to the Cultural Center.
Okay.
So Southwestern will be closed ALA in 2028, and they be moving to a brand new building.
Well, I think
And
that
I
part
don't
is
think
gonna
we'll
be
have a problem
yeah.
selling that property on Southwestern right off of 69.
Well, just remember, we definitely looking for a building, for the movement, right? So, we
Yeah,
definitely gonna be hollering. One thing about Flint is they own the land to all the schools that's in the city of Flint, right? So they are like one of the very few districts, right? Not only just own the building, but they own the land, right?
we're
So
the
those
only
are
yeah,
assets.
we're the only district in the state of Michigan on 28 buildings,
Mm-hmm.
no lien, no taxes.
Nothing.
We're sitting on close to about 500 or 600 acres of land.
Absolutely.
We own it,
Yeah.
and we own what's below the ground. We own what's above the ground.
That,
Um,
that was
the
good.
vacant buildings, people talks about that a lot. I don't get distracted
Mm-hmm.
because they've been vacant for 28 or 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell people all the time, you can have the building, but you're not going to have the land to it.
I know
So
that's
a vacant building has no value.
right. No, definitely though. I'm very proud of, even this body, as far as the school board, the group, right? We do got some prolific members on the school board. And they definitely are doing. I love how they moving around. They continue to working together, becoming more knowledgeable, bringing more partners in, right? Not only just in Michigan, they all around. So that's a beautiful thing because then you bring those aspects back.
Yes.
Okay, so I do want to take it into the neighborhood news. Yeah, so this segment we do talk about neighborhood news. One thing for sure, we definitely want to highlight Smoking Charlie's. Yeah, down there at the Flint Farmers Market, we'll be
Wow.
closing their doors.
Yeah, I saw that. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
after 20
Yeah.
years of being down there at the Flint Farmers Market, they closing, right? But
That's a big loss.
that's a very big loss. But Mr. Charlie Weston will be continuing the activity going on. He will have a food truck. He'll be setting up in all
Okay.
different centers all around the city. So you will be able to get some of that barbecue, but you won't be able to go to the Flint Farmers Market location
Wow.
where they've been holding it down for 2 decades. They'll be closing their doors at the end of this year, right? Then of course we do have Kwanzaa coming up now.
Oh
AJ
yeah.
EJ Kwanzaa, right?
Okay. I
Make
try
sure
to
we
make
bring,
it. Yeah.
bring Mr. Joe too,
Okay.
and bring the babies.
Okay.
We do have Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa 2025. We'll be celebrating December 26th to January 1st. We'll be going 3 to 5 p.m. That's 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. at the Flint Odyssey House Oak Adolescent Youth Center. It's located on 718 Oak Street, right there in the area, right there, right behind Grand Traverse. We'll be over there facilitating every day, 26th through the 1st, from 3 to 5 at 718 Oak Street. That's the Flint Odyssey House Youth Adolescent Center. So you come on out. You're going to learn a bunch of principles. You learn a bunch of information, right? You just be fed, spiritually, right? Because it's good for us to practice these principles. Each day represent a certain principle for the day. It's help guide us. It help bring us up together as a community. So we asking the whole community to come on out for Kwanzaa 2025,
Yes.
26. Trust me, you won't be disappointed. And then, of course, we're going to take it to the Village Shores. Yes, the apartment over there located on 12th Street is condemned, and
Yes.
residents are forced to move a couple days after Christmas Kwanzaa, right? So it's a very unfortunate situation taking place over there. I know it's some outdated, some water bills that are in the rearages. So there's no water in the building, right? And that's very unfortunate. You can't have families, can't be having children there if you don't have water, running water in your house or your apartment. So unfortunately for the families over there, I know it's been different community members going out and helping out and supporting in the best way we can. We just have to, just wrap our arms around them to be able to support them during these challenging times because it's cold as heck out there.
Yes.
And don't nobody got time to find a new place and set up shop somewhere else, right? Right now, at least. So our hearts and prayers goes out to all the families and Village Shores Apartments. Okay. And then on the national stage, yeah, we talking the national stage. So now we talk about news that's national, right? Of course, if you did see, Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua had their slugfest, or really it was just a straight beatdown. Jake Paul got beat up and sent to the hospital with a broken jaw. So man, I don't know why he thought he can get in the ring with the brother Joshua, man. Big shout out to Joshua, man. Just crushed the
Yes.
competition. That's how you supposed to do, right? He inspired us to get back in the ring, right? So they definitely had a fight. It was a big bag for this, but it was a big purse for this fight,
Yeah.
right? I know brother Joshua gonna be clearing over $77 million, right? Just for this fight alone. Some people said it was staged, right? Said Jake Paul puts up these scripts. Um, I know that Anthony Joshua could have knocked him out probably in the first round, right? But to get the fans and get the money's worth, you had to let it go for a couple rounds. And then you put the beat down on him, right? But nevertheless, man, congratulations to Anthony Joshua for definitely doing his thing and holding it down, man, and another win to the column. Okay, and then we talk about the DOJ. Yeah, we got the Epstein files, right? You've been seeing the Epstein files,
Yeah.
right? Just a bunch of nonsense. Trump is in there partying, hanging out. Bill
Yes.
Clinton. I even seen Michael Jackson. I don't know if that was an AI or what they just throw Michael Jackson in there. Mike ain't had nothing to do with that, man. He ain't fooled with y'all. Anyway, man, the Democrats, House Democrats are upset with the DOJ because they feel like a lot of information was redacted, right? And then photos that was previously released on the website have been pulled down. So they're threatening investigation, they're threatening lawsuits because what the American people wanted to see, they wanted to see these files released. And right now we do have the DOJ, we have Cash Patel, and a bunch of cronies in there just trying to save Trump. Right.
That's it.
That's all that is, right? They definitely didn't shuffle the deck and they didn't hid some pictures, right? And they not releasing all the files. So we are calling for action. We want them files released, everything, and stop redacting everything so we can really see what's going on, right? So, and then of course they did not meet the deadline, which was Friday, and so that's another issue too. So, we'll definitely be having more coverage on that. Definitely will get some more insight, more news at 11. Okay, so I'm sitting here with Dr. McNeal. I got to give respect, Dr. McNeal, right? She's definitely talking about what the Flint schools is definitely here to offer. Um, then we also have a water crisis. Did you see the state of the city address?
No, I was out of town at a conference. I heard about it.
You ain't missed nothing. You ain't
I
missed
heard
nothing.
about it. Yes, we heard about it.
You
So,
ain't missed nothing, right? You know what I'm saying? The guy just got up there, got to talking about all the stuff, all the grandiose things that he think he doing for the city of Flint, and it was just a hogwash, right? That's what my folks in Mississippi used to say. But he's like, crap. It just was crap. It was crap, Mr. Joe. It was definitely just, what I'm saying, a waste of 2, 3 hours. But the thing is this, like we are definitely in transition. We have an election coming up in 26. Yeah, we got an election. And we're gonna need everybody to be registered to vote. All we got a city of population at about 85,000 people, give or take. But we got about what 50 registered, supposedly registered voters. We need everybody to get registered because we need to come out in droves. We need to be going out voting. We need to make sure we, kind of set up the table now. Let's meet with some folks who's interested in being a part of that. The council should be working with the school board. The school board should be working with the mayor, working with the county. Everybody should be like in sync with each other, right? Because that's how you get power. And then that's how you can help support each other with
yes.
the resources. So we do want to make sure that everybody is engaged in this election next year. We're looking to get a new mayor. We're looking to get new city council, right? We're looking to get new state reps. And so we need everybody to come out and vote. Make sure you be a part of something greater than yourself. Be a part of this community, right?
Yes.
Make sure that you come out and you come to these school board meetings. You hear the new work that they got taking place. You hear the development. Don't just think there ain't nothing happening because you ain't in the mix or you ain't at the table. You got to come on down to the meeting and check it out. You got to connect with Dr. McNeil and everybody else on the board and see what we got going on. Okay, with that being said, we're gonna move it into the X chat. Yeah, now this is a fun session, right?
Okay. All right.
So this is like what we're gonna do. It's kind of like random, right? We got Coach over there. Coach is gonna throw some ideas out for the chat. We got like 2 minutes to kind of go ahead and talk about it, discuss it, debate it, if you will, and then we move it on. Right? It's real fun and engaging. All right, Coach, you ready?
Right.
Yes, sir.
All right. It's a question. Is Department of Education protecting kids or protecting the system?
Is the Department of Education protecting kids, or is it protecting the system?
Depends on who's at the table. With the
Uh,
Flint Board of Education, we're protecting the kids. We're trying to get away, building relationship with the kids, not with the system.
I like that answer. She's straight talk. That's exactly what it is, man. Because sometimes systems can keep you hindered, right?
Yes.
Or then sometimes the initiative is to go ahead and create this state of confusion,
Yeah.
right? Because they don't want students and some children to be brilliant, right? Especially in
Mhm.
urban communities like Flint. So they put these different pieces in place and barriers for you to not be able to operate.
And keep in mind, it's the person at the table.
Mhm.
The Board of Education set the goals for the district. And
That's right.
if you
Is
build
that the
more,
Michigan Board of Education?
yeah,
Okay.
that's the role of the Board of Education.
Okay.
Uh, is to give direction in the way the district. We're responsible for finance.
Mhm.
We're responsible for academic.
Yeah.
We're responsible.
Yeah.
And so how can you can't be at two places at the same time. You can't have two masters at the same time.
Not at
Either
all.
you're gonna love the system or you're gonna love the children.
Absolutely.
My role is that I get a lot of confrontation, is that I put the children first. Every decision I make, I'm looking at mom, dad, and the children.
Come on now.
I don't look at the partners. I don't look at and I think that's why we're getting ready to do a big audit. We're looking at
Mhm.
these over the years contract. Why are we spending millions of dollars in programs and stuff, and the kids are failing? So let's look at
I
these
know,
programs.
I know that's right.
So the question is, I support
The
depending on,
people.
yeah, you got to put
That's
the
right.
right people in the seat. You got to ask those tough questions.
Come on now.
We're not asking the right question. We're just going by what somebody said about somebody said, but you have not. You got to sit down and talk to that individual yourself. Thanks.
Okay. Okay. All right. I like that. That was a good answer. What you think about that, Coach?
Pretty good. But
Okay.
I was more referring to the federal Department of Education.
Oh, well, the federal is, yeah, oh, of course.
They on bull crap too. But
Yeah, the
we
federal
had to double back
strictly,
on
yeah,
it.
the federal sends it down. They strictly kind of controlling what's come down to the state. Then the state, the good thing about Michigan, we have a little bit more power and control than more states, and we have more people fighting for us
Mm,
at the state level and at the federal level.
mhm.
So we kind of get heads of what's coming down. But the federal is that's why he got rid of it. And so the power is sent
Trump.
back down. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah, that's
power is being sent back down to the state. And it's got a lot of work to be done. But it put pressure on us as a board because now we have to really stop this rubber stamping
yeah.
and examine who benefited from it.
And Linda McMahon has no business being at the federal
Zero.
education. I don't know
Zero.
why she there. Right.
Okay. Do school choice and charter schools help public schools or slowly destroy them?
Schools of choice or charter schools, do they help or hurt a community?
Charter school has destroyed public school
Absolutely.
because that's a kind of like a Besser DeVos project.
Hmm.
And charter school gave the parent the illusion that your kids is going to do better if I put them on a uniform and put a good name out there
Hmm.
and gives you the illusion
Yeah.
that your kids is going to do better.
Hmm.
Public school is mandated by the state. We have to report out. Charter school
Yeah.
doesn't have to report out.
They don't.
Charter school doesn't have to do the IEPs to find out um, where your kids need to help at. Charter school doesn't have to do that.
Hmm.
Public school, we are mandated, even after the water crisis, we are mandated to have so much support in the school.
Absolutely.
Flint has 850 some kids with IEPs. We have the lowest population, but we have the highest special need. And
Charter schools is a business.
yeah, it's a
Always
business.
understand it's about their
And
bottom
you don't
line.
have to be certified
You don't have to
teacher.
be certified to teach. You don't even have to pass state mandated exams, right? they do put this illusion on like it's better because they wear uniforms, but you have to understand how important public schools are to a community because our tax dollars go to our community, right? Ideally, you would like to have your school in your neighborhood, right? But always know that public schools are much better than charter schools. Charter schools are
Much
a waste of our time, and I'm dissatisfied even with the charter schools here in this city. All right.
Do Flint residents trust the school board? And if not, why?
Does Flint residents trust the school board? And if not, why?
When you're dealing with the public, you got a percentage of the people trust Flint School Board. If they didn't, they wouldn't send their kids there.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have a percentage of the community. Most people that interested in Board of Education are your taxpayers. They're more concerned about Board of Education, where about the parents need to be where the taxpayer at in their thinking.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe that Flint resident trust public school when you can get me myself, I had close to over 10,000 support when I ran. One of their board member had 18,000. One board member had 10,000. So they let us know that the public still support public school, but if they wanted to do a see a change, and it depends on who's sitting at the table. And I think we got the right people sitting at the table, and that trust and support is getting ready to get wider and wider.
Listen, that is the whole key bout. If you got the right people at the table, people who really care about the youth, that really want to see this district move forward, then that can give the community some ambition. All right. And I think definitely, we in a good space when it comes to the Flint School Board. I do feel like we do trust it, right? Because we understand the strife that it's been through. Like it's been through so many transitions. And now we want to see the children win. We want to see us do well. And now with these new additions, like with the school being built, right? Them having the business aspect about the assets they own, and then also having relationships to attract more dollars and resources. That's important. At the end of the day, now, every community needs resources and
Yes.
dollars. That's what it comes down to. If we want to be a fluent community, it's going to take exactly just that. All right, and that does it for the extract. Good job, Doctor. Come on now. Good job, Coach. You know what I'm saying? Go be digging deep on them, man.
Oh yeah,
We
that was
don't
deep.
know what they
Yeah.
gonna talk about. You just throw some stuff out.
I like challenges. That was pretty good. I like that.
Okay,
Yes.
all right. So as we kind of come down the chute, we got this water crisis settlement that's taking place, right? And all the children, because you at the board, you're the president. A lot of these children been impacted by this, right?
Yes.
So now, when it comes down to, we got some categories that will be releasing some dollars, right? We're talking about if it's property and then personal injury, those are coming out here very soon. When do we and can we look to receiving a check?
Well, there's 34 category, um, and I sent that to you as well, and I sent it to um some of the grassroots leader those category,
Mm-hmm.
how that money is allocated.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know the formula that they use. I was in a meeting with Congress Rivet
Mm-hmm.
a couple of weeks ago. She sits on the committee with Slockins,
Mm-hmm.
and I believe want to say the mayor or somebody else. And so they broke it down a little bit for us. You got $43 million in interest. You had 40 some thousand people applied, and right now it's 26,000 has been approved.
Okay.
And category 28 is coming first. That's just that $1,000.
There's that 1,000 people been seeing.
Yeah.
Because I think people were thinking that they were going to get this astronomical amount, and then some people didn't know what it was going to look like. But then when they saw that $1,000, they said, "Oh, we waited 12 years for this."
Yeah. But I think people might want to look at
Okay.
the other category would be if I'm a property owner and then I had personal injury.
Mm-hmm.
That's a category is coming out next.
Yeah.
That's the $1,000 plus any personal injury or a health issue.
Yes.
That category should be coming out
Mm-hmm.
pretty soon.
Okay.
The next category, we can talk about the Legionnaire. The Legionnaires has already been approved,
Mm-hmm.
and we're just waiting on our certain things at the judge level. The Legionnaire has been approved. Those are going to be paid out immediately. They already approved, and they was working on some things.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the conversation was about the $43 million interest.
Mm-hmm.
And it had been suggested, and I don't know how far this has went, that the attorney is going to take a third plus expenses. But my understanding, the expenses is going to come out of the interest money
Which is about
because
46 million.
yeah, the
Okay.
46 million.
Okay.
Because the 46 million cannot be used as part of the settlement
Mm-hmm.
because it's interest.
Yeah.
And it's 600 some $1 million that they had. They invested with $43 million in interest.
Absolutely.
And so I think what they're trying to do is reduce the taxes on that money through the attorneys and stuff. So, which is kind of good if you look at it from an economic perspective and a benefit. It'll benefit a person like, hey, you're going to take a third, but the expenses that you incur in working on my case, you're going to take that out of the interest money.
Okay. Okay. So just know that, once again, I know that people been waiting for a very long time. It sounds like it's in the process, it's coming down. Those first two categories will be coming out first, and that's property damage and personal injury. If that's together, right, that makes sense. And you have to own the property. I know there's some confusion about that because we had some renters that felt like, hey, I lived at this location, I deserve property damage claim.
And one
Uh,
thing I want to say,
okay.
look, you have an attorney.
Yeah.
Your attorney is going to get paid,
Mm-hmm.
and you should be in contact with your attorney.
Mm-hmm.
I speak directly to my attorney.
Mhm.
Special master is not my attorney. They just giving out some data and how the process is. Your attorney at this point should be in conversation with you.
That's right.
If it should be in conversation with you.
Mm-hmm.
You got some kids that was in foster care and they grown now 20 or 21 years old. I'm telling you to call the 800 number. They should be able to find you in the system.
Mm-hmm.
If they cannot find you in the system, they should be able to tell you the way to go.
Mm-hmm.
I remember attorney Trishelle Young was kind of involved in that. Levy firm over off of Linden Road. I went out to talk to them about kids in foster care that was not accountable for. So those children that was in foster care, homeless, if you're not sure,
Mm-hmm.
call that 800 number.
Mm-hmm.
Call and they will tell you where you should go from there. My understanding is they have allocated money for those types of circumstances
Yes, ma'am.
because we know that we have a lot of homeless people here
Mm-hmm.
and we have a lot of children that aged out or was in the system um, at age that left out. I do recall that when I was talking to a couple of attorneys that I made them aware because of the work that you and I do
Mm-hmm.
that we had a lot of kids in foster care and they wasn't aware of in the court, just caught up in the court. And my understanding, they allocated money for some of those kids. According to Congress Rivet, they cannot even locate some of the kids, and they putting together a team now to make sure that we find every kid that's entitled to that fund.
Absolutely.
A lot of us might not like how that settlement came out,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just like we must stop crying about that and work with what we do have because we're not going back. But to make sure that the children
Mm-hmm.
that was damaged that was in this process get taken care of. So if you know of anybody or any children, do something positive. Help them figure out how they can get the resources they need.
And we're gonna put that number online. So if you didn't, it's the 8100 number. And we'll get that up for them. But if you haven't filled out an application for the settlement, if you need to get connected to your attorney, if you need to get more information to get a better understanding if you're approved or not approved for whatever category, You need to reach out and have that conversation now rather than late. So we definitely make sure that folks get that information. And if you're in foster care, as she said, 27,000 people have been approved for the settlement. It was about what 46,000 people that filled out for it. So that means the other half did not be approved, but it ain't over. I would definitely check to see if it's some documentation or something that you need to update to make sure that you do get in the category. Because I believe everybody in the city deserves something.
And I wanted to just share this. Claire McClinton with
Absolutely.
DDL, you can go to her Facebook page.
Mhm.
She has been advocating and very informed about the information you can get. She has data that she prints out that you can call people. She kind of tried to keep up in contact
Yep,
um,
she did.
with what's going on with the water crisis. And if she can't help you, she definitely not gonna hurt you.
Yeah.
But go to your Facebook and look for Claire McClinton. She's been an advocate for making sure people have the right information.
Absolutely, absolutely. We love you, Mama Claire. Big shout out to Mama Claire. Definitely, man, on the front line, getting to it. All right, we do want to highlight a business here in the Flint Genesee County community, and we're going to highlight Spectacular Spuds. Yes, that's Spectacular Spuds. If you like potatoes, you like stuffed potatoes. I had a shrimp Alfredo stuffed potato, right? And it was amazing, right? They have all these different things and items on the menu. Be sure to go ahead and check them out. They are located at 131 West 2nd Street. That's Flint, Michigan. That's right down the street here downtown. It's black owned, right? Big shout out to the sister and the team for continuing putting on great events. I knew they do something on Wednesday, like a wind down Wednesday type of activity, but then also they are serving good food on a day-to-day basis. So go ahead and check them out. They're located right there on 131 2nd Street, right here downtown. All right, I appreciate you for enlightening and coming in and
Thank
just
you.
providing the insight, right? That was just amazing. And so
Yes.
be sure to go ahead and tap in with Dr. McNeal, right? You can catch her at the Flint School Board meeting, holding it down as a president, or you can see her out there in the community on the front line
I didn't come to
advocating.
Facebook.
Or you can go to her Facebook, right? Make sure you go ahead and check your Facebook, and we're gonna put your Facebook up there too,
Okay.
just to make sure, like, if anybody got some information, you want to get your children back in Flint schools, you just want to go ahead and help support the initiatives that's taking place or something that you heard today. Be sure to go ahead and lock in with her, right? She definitely responsive. She'll get back with you, right? And she's a real one. So I do want to leave her with this: the meaning of life is find your gift, but the purpose of that gift is to share with the world.
That's it.
We appreciate y'all for tapping in for Royale X Politikin. Yes, big shout out to the team holding it down. Coach Brian back there getting to it behind the scenes. You got the misses over there taking the shots, right? Just making us look good. Big shout out to Miss Fire over there getting to it, right? Holding it down. We see you, Mr. Joe. Mr. Joe is in the building tonight, man. Listen, we getting to it. And once again, thank you, Dr. McNeal, for coming
Thank you
in
so
and just
much.
gracing us with all this information. Be sure to go ahead and get to the updates, check Facebook, see what's going on, attend a meeting. So then that way you are informed. You're not left out in the cold. All right. One thing we do, we close it out with the X's, right? You
I
ready?
like the, okay.
Okay, you ready? You
Yes.
ready, Coach? We're gonna lock it in.